As a seasoned journalist and actor, I've seen my fair share of unexpected twists and turns in the world of showbiz. One instance that stands out in my memory is the infamous incident involving Hulk Hogan and my good friend Mr. T on the set of Hot Properties back in 1985. The Netflix docuseries Mr. McMahon is filled with shocking moments from the history of Vince McMahon, creator of World Wrestling Entertainment, and the history of the WWE itself. One of the most noteworthy involved actor Richard Belzer and wrestler Hulk Hogan. The tell-all six-part documentary involved former WWE wrestlers and business associates, providing their perspectives on various events in the history of the entertainment company. Hulk Hogan went into some detail on an incident that happened in front of a live audience in 1985 when Hogan was at the peak of his popularity as a passionate moviegoer immersed in the world of wrestling. I recently delved into the captivating documentary about Mr. McMahon. This fascinating piece chronicled the extensive legal battles that McMahon and his associates within the WWE endured over time. And while even numerous lawsuits levied accusations of abuse, one particular lawsuit depicted in the series was significantly less severe, and this lawsuit took place early in the WWE's history and unexpectedly set some important legal precedents due to its aftermath. Richard Belzer is well known for his distinctive face on network television, having portrayed Detective John Munch in Law & Order Special Victims Unit for 17 years, and Homicide: Life on the Street for six years prior to that. The character of John Munch became so iconic that Belzer reprised the role in minor roles in various TV shows throughout the 2000s and 2010s. In 1985, Belzer hosted the program titled Hot Properties, which showcased conversations with prominent figures from sports and films, such as B.B. King, Leonard Cohen, Little Richard, and more. Notably, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T were also guests on this show in anticipation of their highly anticipated match at WrestleMania 1. And during the interview, Belzer playfully requested that Hogan demonstrate, a wrestling hold on him meant to entertain the audience. Regrettably, the hold led to Belzer losing consciousness and hitting his head on the floor, causing a wound. Although Hogan expressed regret over the event and cautioned viewers against imitating wrestling moves on TV, Belzer opted to sue Hogan for $5 million due to personal injury. The trial was initially scheduled in the New York State Supreme Court, but it never transpired. Instead, they reached a private agreement outside of court with the settlement amount remaining confidential at that time. This lawsuit, though not ultimately decisive, added to the WWF's then known negative publicity during that period. Initially, Belzer had filed a lawsuit seeking an astonishing $5 million. But later reports suggested that he and Hogan reached a settlement worth approximately $400,000 outside of court. Notably, Belzer utilized this sum to buy a house on the French Riviera for himself and his wife, which he affectionately called Che Hogan, following the lawsuit. Although it was far less than the amount Belzer had initially demanded in court, $400,000 still represented a substantial compensation for his hardships. And the lawsuit not only brought about a shift in legal norms, as reported by the New York Times, post the settlement, Belzer's attorneys argued that they were entitled to half of the settlement instead of the usual 33%. Initially, Belzer endorsed their request in a letter that later asserted he did so under pressure, fearing it might affect his chances of winning. Eventually, a judge decided that the time the lawyers invested in the case, which was the foundation of their claim, was an inherent part of the risk they took on when accepting the case. This ruling served as a legal precedent for future cases regarding contingency fees for lawyers. With that said, thanks for watching. And until next time, see you next time.